Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the award-winning 210 Culture Podcast. I'm G,
I'm Dom.
and of course, we are the Best of 2020 Podcast of the Year by SA
2020.
Magazine, and we're waiting back to see if we've won 2021. So we're hoping.
Oh,
Um,
anticipation.
so we'll see how that goes. But most importantly, our special guest today. I'm pretty sure we're related somehow down the tree. I'm gonna ancestor and figure it out. But Ben Longoria, San Antonio. Arthur, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. On this, it's nice in here being warm.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially on the snow day. So
cold.
Rare
hopefully you
snow day.
guys are tuning into our and staying warm in your
Making
wonderful home.
s'mores and hot cocoa.
For those who have a smart TV and aren't that smart, there's a little square on your thing. You can hit it and actually put it to your TV, so you could watch us on
Mhm.
your big TV.
Yeah, and guess what, guys? We're starting off the day with a frozen. Back.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
live. Hey, welcome everybody.
There
Now
we go.
and that's how I got rid of the dead body. I mean
Yeah, we talked a lot of
Yeah.
interesting stuff in there. It was, wow.
There's
Yeah.
demons and ghosts in here
Dude.
for a second.
Yeah.
and then I
Scary.
restarted Blue Mountain State because
Oh
I just
yeah,
love
Oh,
that
that's a
show.
classic.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's so good.
So
That's
I
a good
it
one.
was on Amazon Prime for those who have Amazon
It
Prime.
is on
but
Amazon.
I think you have to have to
I just wish
subscribe
they
to 'em.
ended on the right.
Did you watch the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm so mad about that.
Badland.
So I'm so mad about that. So I know that they were going straight to streaming when it first came out.
Mhm.
So that weekend I called him up. I called all my buddies and we rented it. I paid the $20. Then 2 weeks later it's free on Netflix.
You know what pissed
Oh.
You know what was even worse,
Damn
G?
it.
You
What?
remember when they were crowdsourcing that shit?
Yes.
Mm.
My dumbass fucking donated for a terrible movie.
Oh,
I put
God.
my hard-earned like
sorry.
$10 in there.
They should like do a spin-off with like him with dad being like a high school teacher. Like that he had like a career ending like surgery and he had to be like a high school teacher. I would watch that. Just
Yeah.
yelling at kids.
Hey, that's classic. You can make a couple seasons out of that.
Kind of like
They'll bring it back. That's
what
what
do
they
you
want
call
to
it?
do with like Dexter's.
So
Like,
if
Yeah.
you hear
oh, by
it,
the way, it didn't
we made
end
the
that
idea.
yeah, like
Bring it back.
was it Eastbound and Down where he came out and as the vice principal?
I never watched the last season of
Oh.
it. I just watched the
I remember you
first
saying that.
two. Right? There's
Three.
There's
Three,
three seasons.
yeah.
I watched the first two.
Yeah, he ends up making it back to the pros. And he plays like that one game and like, fuck you and he leaves.
Oh.
He always fucks it up. I swear.
I want to get the pop figure. So there's a pop figure with him wearing the mariachi outfit.
Yeah.
So they have that one, and then they have the one where he has the cornrows and like the white shirt with the
Yeah,
chicken.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I
With the
gotta get
chicken?
both of them. Like,
Nice.
I
gotta
just
get
think
both.
Danny McBride is a hilarious human being.
He's a treasure, man.
He's
I love
funny.
that guy.
Have y'all ever seen
The Wonderstone.
yeah, the Wonderstone?
Yeah,
No, not
like
Wonderstone, the magician one, Burt Wonderstone.
No, not
no,
that one.
that's with Jim Carrey.
There's a
Yeah,
show.
But there's a show where he's a preacher.
Yeah.
No,
And
what?
it's him and John
John
Goodman.
Goodman.
John Goodman's his dad. And then one of the guys from Workaholics, what's his name?
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Uh,
I've seen what you're
Yeah,
talking about
he's
now.
his brother.
Adam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Adam
Adam
Levine. Divine.
Divine.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
that's his
The dude
brother.
from Pitch
Yeah, they're
Perfect.
brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Oh my
It's hilarious. So they end up
Classic.
blackmailing Danny McBride because he gets a bunch of strippers like at a church convention. So like the whole first season is them like
So much irony.
blackmailing them,
Yeah.
and then they're like they all live in like this like compound, so they all got like these giant mansions. All of them, so they all go like one street and they all take off and
Like
they
a
all go
golf
into their,
cart.
their mansions. And it's just hilarious because they're just going off the whole
It's so crazy.
make church tropes and stuff. And then
Yes.
Joel Osteen
That's
kind
a
of
weird,
thing.
yeah, right. That's a
Yeah.
weird thing that exists.
And then they have one where they're like, "This Sears closed. Okay, cool. We're turning it into a church." And then like later in the season, it's the Sears that's the church, and he
Sears.
hires his like brother-in-law, John Goodman's brother-in-law, to run the church.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious because they're all going at each other. Daddy, Jesus wouldn't want me to be doing this. They all have southern accents.
It's a, you don't know what Jesus wants.
And it's great. I think they only did one season, but it's
It was
I gotta watch
hilarious.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right up
definitely
my alley,
on
that
your
kind of
watch
thing.
list.
just
I think it's on HBO Max. I think
Yeah.
it might
Oh,
be.
then I
Yeah,
have it for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's on
HBO
HBO
Max has Fresh
Everything.
Prince.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching
Did
that
you
with
watch
my
your reunion
kids.
show?
Huh?
Did you watch your reunion show?
No, I
that
worked
was
because me and
crazy.
I got my kids and I. We started like during dinner we'll eat and
Mhm.
watch our shows.
Mm.
And one of the ones we had watched was Boy Meets World,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
classic.
and they loved it. Like
Mhm.
that was like even how old
Yeah.
it is, it still was like
Even
relevant.
with like the new seasons that came out, like
Girl
And
Meets
they
World.
had seen that already, so now it was better because they got to see
Backwards.
where it came from,
Yeah.
and they liked
People-
our generation's
Yeah.
more. They're like, "Oh, that was a better one."
Mhm.
But
classics.
I started after that. We started on Fresh Prince now,
Mhm.
and so
Wow.
we're once that's
They're on
done,
the
we'll
right
do
track to being good people.
Yeah, they're still on the first Aunt Viv,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
God.
they haven't
Wait, the new
seen the
one
change.
or the old one?
The
Yeah,
first-
they
yeah.
don't know about the grudge.
I
that
love,
happened.
I love the joke when they switch her out and Jazz walks in. He's all something different about you.
I know that's what I'm waiting for because the kids too are gonna be like, "What?"
Classic.
Let's say over or under 10 times you cry watching The Fresh Prince.
Especially on
Over.
the dad scene.
The dad scene, man. That's
Over.
the
Well,
even
that's
my kids
confirmed
know
one.
that
I mean,
one.
yeah. There's no doubt
Um,
about that one.
And then the one where he gets shot. The
The-
sheriff's Carlton. Give me the
that one.
gun.
That one. I was
Yeah,
gonna say
that
that
was
one
a
because I
sad
remember
one.
watching that in a hotel like a few years back, and I was like, how relevant
How-
that was even to today, like
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
discussion. which
Yeah,
is
even
weird.
the one where they was it that they get arrested for going to Palm Springs
And
they
then
think they stole
Uncle
the car?
Phil comes in and
Yes.
just owns them. He's
Oh.
like, "I'll litigate you out your ass," and you're like,
Yeah, I was seeing also the one.
You
And
don't
then
get it?
I saw a clip on Facebook because I totally forgot about the episode about Family Matters. It's the same thing where Eddie gets I think he gets I don't think he gets beat, but he gets like harassed
Mhm.
because he was gonna go to some white neighborhood party, and then Carl finds the officers that pulled him over, like he was able to, and he goes to like a coffee shop and talks to him, and he's like, "Well, I mean, he shouldn't have been in that neighborhood," and he's like, "Why shouldn't he been in that neighborhood?" And then they're like, "Well, he fit the perp." He's like, "What perp?" The fact that he's
Oh.
black and like it's still like a whole race thing. And then the guy's like, "Well, if you really cared about your something, you would tell him not to go to those like that neighborhood and not be there." And then the partner's there with him, and then the other guy leaves and he tells his partner, "Why'd you decide to become a cop?" And he's like, "Because I wanted to fight the bad guys and make a difference." And he's like, "Well, are you? Because your buddy's one of the bad guys." And then like that's where the episode ends.
Dude.
But his
real stuff from our
but
childhood.
his
Still.
but yeah, the whole time that Eddie, he's like, "Are you gonna lie to me, Eddie? Like the time that you wrecked the car, you hit the car, put a dent in it, and you lied to me. So how do I know you're lying? Like you should have listened to the officer." Like he's all like against them. Then he's like, "Do you know what's worse than being harassed by the cops is being harassed by your own dad that's supposed to trust you or whatever." And he's just like, "Oh, So then like later he goes back and like apologizes to him. And I'm like, damn, that episode hits deep.
That's a
even
deep episode
now.
right there.
Yeah.
And I was a latchkey kid, so I remember my mom's working, and I'd have to come
Mhm.
let myself in the house and stuff. And we were raised by TV so much, and then
I
it
hear
teaches
that.
us those because they're like it's trash,
Yeah.
but it teaches you those lessons,
Mhm.
and then
They
we
come
grow
in
up to
life,
be who we
yeah.
are, and they're like, why are they so sensitive? You're like, did you not see those
Yeah,
episodes?
see the
Did you-
Right?
seasons, yeah.
Did you not cry? You
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
watching Fresh Prince with the
Yeah.
Uncle Phil
Family
episode.
Matters and
That's what-
everybody.
that's what
you
me
know?
and my-
Matters.
Me and my dad were talking about because he was talking about like was it Archie Bunker and all of the family and all them.
Yeah.
He's like, imagine how racist. So he's like, you watch the episode how racist they are now. Like and that was on TV, fine, like no problem. He's all like. That what's his name? George Jefferson would be like, "What up, honky?" And it's like now you put in the video, like everybody be like, "Nope, not
Married,
happening."
Married with Children's another one. That is
Yeah.
like, you know,
Oh, man, those are
Tom and
hilarious.
Jerry. I watched those, and like you'll watch them, and there's some older ones from
Yeah.
like
Oh,
right after
yeah.
World War II, and they're like,
You didn't know what that we're doing until you're like, oh, I know. What
I was
you're like, wow. I
seen-
also grew up with this, so that's also why
Have
I
you seen
kind of
the,
don't acknowledge it. So.
have you seen the trailer for the new film they're making?
For Tom and Jerry?
Yeah. So it's a live
know.
action.
I've heard. I haven't seen.
It's a
anything
live
about it, though.
action, but they've left them still in cartoon form. So like they didn't make like a cat that talks or
Like they're.
Which
Is
is
it
kinda
CG cartoons?
no,
or
like actual like cartoon animation.
but in live action.
Live
Yes.
action.
That's pretty interesting.
And then it has
like
what's
Space
his name?
Jam.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Space
it
Jam.
has what's his name from
Classic.
Michael Pena. Is in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course, Michael Pena's gonna be in this movie.
He's hilarious. He's animated.
It's
So-
amazing that cartoon, like they really didn't talk too. You
No.
watch the old ones, there's like almost no talking.
It's all facial.
It's all
emotions,
the
all
animation, and it's like, well, I teach
movements.
kids online, and I
Uh-huh.
show them that,
Yeah.
and we'll watch like little clips of it sometimes, and yeah, you notice it. Like as I watch it, I notice
Mm-hmm.
it closer now, and I'm like, hey, like this is weird. Like you just listen to the music, the way they play the music when he's
Mm.
Yeah.
chasing him, or like the
Energetic
joke
sound.
happens. They're like, and you're like, oh,
That's
I
why
get
creative.
I get a
dude.
kick out of it too with like the Crash video game. How, like he never talks, but all the other characters can talk.
Yes,
It's just him that doesn't talk. For
it's a lot of
whatever
video games, right?
reason. And then
That's-
even with the new one, because they made the fourth one finally now, like on the next gen.
yeah.
So I got it for Christmas and I played it. Like everybody else talks in the movie, and he's just like, and I'm like, what? You couldn't have like make him talk somehow? Like even his sister talks, and they're the same species. Come on.
I think what it is just gives you the imagination of you giving them your voice. You know what I mean? And that's why he doesn't speak. But
gonna
I
say
mean,
they
we'll
probably
never
just-
know.
I was gonna say they probably just couldn't find somebody that fit right, and that was the end of it. And they're just like,
I'm banned.
Why-
You know, so, like,
Kinda
you
like-
can't just change like the voice. You know, like you
It's
gotta
just
find
like
the right
it's
one.
just like Mario. Mario has his voice, but you
I'm
never
a
really hear it in the
Well,
game.
it works in like video games that are like very linear and
Yeah.
like Metal
Straightforward.
Gear
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
a story kind of
Yeah.
game. So you
okay,
he's
Smith?
the
Talk-
character.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
really not. You just get to be him.
Yeah,
But if you're like playing Fallout, it's like that's you.
yeah,
And so when it's some dude voicing, it, you're like, that's not me. at
Yeah, I don't
all."
sound like that. Like was it like the NBA games where they make you create your player? And they're
Oh,
like, pick
yeah.
a voice. You got 3 voices.
I remember the
Boy.
old WWE ones
Yeah.
when it was WWF
Yeah.
games.
Yeah,
And you could create your players, and I had like the most metal dudes. Like I made the Necromancer, like so retarded, like
That's
stupid,
metal.
so
yeah.
dumb.
Mine, I was like, how can I put a mask and horns and glasses and and 18
So
diamond
much.
necklaces.
The
at
weird
same time.
little, because it wasn't even good back then.
Yeah.
Like it is today now, where you can make them look amazing.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like,
You
I don't
know,
even
high
bother
def.
now. I just download them. I was
Yeah.
like, any other people, I was like, you took 18 hours to make that guy. Thank you. I'm gonna download them now. I don't have to worry about making them.
You put sweat on them.
I did it once because I think it was one of the last ones before they switched to WWE. There was like a cheat code to make Rey Mysterio because he wasn't in the game,
Oh, that's
and like
cool.
it was like
There's
I
a
printed out one
loophole.
time. It was 20 pages of like all the stats because it would tell you like the head, like the dimensions for the head to make
Yeah.
them look exactly the thing. And I
To get
sit
it?
there like one whole day making them, and I was like, no, this is cool. And then like because you learned how to like change the color, so I could change the costume when he comes out.
Customize.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I have whatever Rey Mysterio I want. So I would make him look similar to whatever he was when he was wrestling then. But I was like, yeah, that's too much work to do that now.
That is now.
I was like, I don't got time for that now. I'm just gonna
Is
go
there a
ahead.
copy paste?
Well, now you can even upload like whatever, like the
Downloadable
logos.
content.
Yeah.
You can like just download the logo from the internet and then upload it so you can put it on the guy without
That's
having to
crazy
make
now.
the logo anymore.
I'm getting behind on video games. Like I got introduced to Fallout, the mods and
Mhm.
Skyrim mods when they
Oh,
released Skyrim.
Mhm.
I got into mods like late because I don't play PC
Don't we
anything.
all?
So it was like, oh, consoles, we got mods now.
Mhm.
And so I opened that door and I was like,
Oh my God.
Like, oh, I can make sushi on Skyrim now. I was like, yes.
That's how I just started too because Google came out with Stadia, so it's like there's an app on your phone, but it normally sucks on your phone. But I got
I
it.
heard that.
I got a month free for because I've been with Google forever for the Google Homes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's the app. So you open it, you can purchase the games, but because right now nobody's buying it, I got 2K NBA 2K for like 90 cents
Damn.
because
That's
I was on sale for $10 and 99 cents, and I had a $10 off your first purchase. So I got it for 99 cents, and I have it on the computer. I'm like, okay, this is cool.
That's
except-
the cost of a skin in like Fortnite. I think.
Yeah.
Like that
I
my
was
son has
like-
to pay for.
and then you pay like $10, and it'll give you like some free games. So I have like the Power Rangers Back in Time like fighting game or
Jeez.
something. Like this game's kind of cool, but it's like Tommy's like the evil guy. Like
Oh
he's
yeah,
the
back
whatever-
to the evil.
Oh,
guy again.
evil
Yeah.
Green Ranger.
Evil Green Ranger
Gotcha.
again.
Well, no, he's the Lord something. He's like black and green. where they
That's
mix
right.
together.
I follow him on. So yeah,
Yeah.
his Lord something character.
Yeah, so that character,
metal.
like, supposedly, the whole thing is that he's going back in time trying to, like, I guess, kill the Power Rangers, but without saying that he's killing them.
Yeah, you got to. It's a
'Cause it's like a kid
family
game.
show.
Yeah, right. He's trying to, like, take
Family
over
game.
and mess up the time so that way nobody can stop him or whatever.
imprison him in a dimension or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I got to get rid of them by locking them away where they can never
Yeah.
come back.
We need to make a rated R Power Rangers.
So, yeah, but
I think they kind of tried to do that with the last one, right? It was a little bit more
Yeah,
serious, at
serious.
least.
also sponsored by Krispy Kreme. That was Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, I
because
know.
it's the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, that's
It does.
right.
It doesn't
Saving
not
films?
work, right? Because then you leave and you're like, ooh,
Power
Krispy
Ranger.
Kreme, man.
I remember they had the donut that had the logo, the Power Ranger logo, and then they made them different colors.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
They were
they
like,
sold those,
get,
yeah.
get every Power Ranger donut. I'm like, okay.
Do you remember when the movie came out with Ivan Ooze?
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember
yeah,
watching that.
that
I
was-
dragged my poor father to like that movie. Like
I wanna
now,
watch
as a
it.
dad, I was like, I'd be like, oh
My
goodness,
parents
what am
bought
I-
me the and my mom's watching right now too, so she'll probably remember. She bought me the Zords from the first movie
Oh, nice.
that they were like they all made
Classic.
together, and then I think I lost a piece, so we threw them away, and then like
Boo.
now when that movie came back, I looked in that same set, like they re-released it, and it was like $250 for that set. And I was like, damn, if I
Mm-mm.
would have had that set,
I
would have kept
there's
it.
like a guy who just sold a Charizard
Mhm.
card for like
Oh.
15. Yeah, it's insane. $1,500 for a
Wow, I have a
card that my
Charizard card.
brother had that he got stolen from him by some
Oh,
kid.
I know my parents have like a box of all my like old stuff in like their attic, and I was like, just leave it there because I know if I get it now and I see some good money, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll just sell it. I was like, I'll wait a little bit.
It's because I legitimately, as a kid, thought
Mhm.
like there was the kids who did keep them away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And me, I wanted to play with them, and I'm like also like, no one is gonna care about
Mhm.
this toy when I'm a grown up.
Mhm.
Man, was I wrong?
Wrong.
I should, obviously, like it's happened throughout history. Like it should have been like, why have my generation an exception? And it's
Like
I have to-
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, I didn't
they're
think-
so
yeah, you're like-
expensive now.
I have to find it because I have the small soldiers that made Chip Hazard. I have the figure. I
Oh,
don't have the gun
nice.
anymore, but I know I have the figure somewhere in one of those boxes. And my sister introduced it to her boyfriend's kids, and he was like, they were like, I want the toys. My sister took a look for him. It was $35 for the Major Chip Hazard.
Jesus.
And she's like, that wasn't even in box. That was just like open.
back then it was like what, $7?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
And those are the
swear.
nice figures too. I had
Yeah.
one. I had the Insaniac guy, the
I
crazy
watched
looking dude.
I watched there's two wrestlers that they're big toy collectors, and I watch them and they just like talk about like the prices, or they go like to the toy stores, and I'm just like, damn. But they like to open theirs. Like they're
Yeah.
like, we don't like to leave them in the box. So then they go and they start like just tearing the
I
boxes
know.
apart, and they're like, for everybody who loves to keep them in box, and
You
they
get
just tear-
one that you keep in the box and one to play with. Because
Yeah.
also nowadays I get nostalgic for the box too. So
Mhm.
now I don't want to open that box.
Yeah.
Like, because I bought like a old card game that no one ever heard of that I really liked when I was
Yeah.
a kid, and I bought it, and I don't even
It's a
like touching the
collectible
box. Yeah, now I'm like I don't even like messing with it because that
True.
box, I don't want to mess up the box and stuff. So
That's how I am with my Funko Pops. Like there's some that are like, okay,
those are gonna be
Well,
those
either-
two
Those are
one
the
day.
expensive.
either the ones I
Yeah.
know that they're like, okay, they're gonna be worth something, leave them. But like there's one where it's I think Cy from Duck Dynasty. I was like, he ain't gonna be worth anything. So like I have them. I still have the box
Jesus.
and I have them displayed because I'm like, I know like I still have the box. I can put it back in the box, but I was like, nobody's gonna be like, oh, well, I'll give you
The
$100
last
for
one
this.
I'm
like-
missing.
yeah,
out of my collection.
yeah. So
Mhm.
I
was-
don't know, man. There's niches
Yeah,
everywhere.
but
There's a niche
but yeah,
in-
all the weird ones. So I got like the Hawaiian Punch guy. So like
Mhm.
he's up there like
they have the Hawaiian punch.
yeah,
with
he
those
just
little
They have
came
a
out.
lot of weird
Yeah, he
ones.
just came out with that one. Yesterday I just got the slushy dog,
Oh my god, they have
and he has a little
lot.
slushy in his hand.
yeah, they have them for like,
Icons and everything.
Yeah, and then I got the Mr. Peanut
The monocle.
yesterday too.
The
Like a-
little new baby.
No,
one
the
that they
regular,
changed,
the regular
old-
OG. Yeah, I saw the OG one, and then my wife just got me the the chocolate one, the ding dongs.
The like the
little
The
ding dong
cakes?
guy.
like the chocolate
Yeah.
cakes
Yeah, the chocolate cakes.
with the eyes and everything.
Yeah, he's like
Okay.
a king, but it's like a collector's edition. That one's already worth like $30
Jeez.
because it was like a special
30
something convention, and I was like, she's like, I didn't pay that much, but I'm glad it's worth that much to kind of balance it off.
I have a signed Power Ranger one from the
Ooh.
what's his name? I can't remember his name. The second Red Ranger.
Mhm.
From the second series.
His name was
of-
Rocky, I think, in the movie. And
Yeah,
stuff.
because it was Jason and then Rocky.
Because Jason left, and then they had the second Red. Well, anyway, he
Yeah.
signed it.
Nice.
And I have it in a
That's a good
cereal box of
series,
Red
yeah.
Ranger, Power Ranger cereal that's
Nice.
also signed, and I won't open it. My
Oh,
kids,
hell no.
my kids want that cereal. They're like,
No.
just get the toy out, keep the box, but let us eat the cereal. I'm like, go to the there's HEBs everywhere.
Yeah,
Go
go
to
buy
the
one.
store. Go eat your own cereal. Stop
Yeah.
mooching off of my cereal.
That's how what else do I have to sign? Something to that. Oh, okay. Right now I'm collecting all the AEW figures because those are hard to find. So my
Mhm.
wife, Lord Jesus, thank God she loves me. She got me the Chris Jericho, which I know that one still runs like brand new. They're 20, but right now because they're hard to find, they're running like 40 to 50.
Are you shopping? You have to shop online for them then?
She got it from somebody like on Craigslist or something.
Oh dang.
And
So it's
then-
at that level.
And then
now.
at Rolling Oaks,
Mm.
there's he used to be at Wonderland, but now he moved to Rolling Oaks. That he has his
Jesus.
toys, and he works with the website that gets the exclusives. So he had gotten like Series 2 already. So she bought me one, and then Mike from Noodle Tree, she bought him one too, and I'm like, guess you got a good Christmas bonus if I got one and he got one, because
right.
those Series 2s aren't even in store because Walmart's the only one that carries them. But Series 1 was released somewhere, and they sold out. But Series 2 hasn't even been released at all, so she was able to get me like 2 from Series 2, and I'm like, I love you. And then Series 3 is about to drop already, but yeah, they're hard to find.
I know how that is, man. I'm doing it with books, and I have to
Mm-hmm.
go to physical books places, or I had to go to.
Mhm.
I had to go to different. Like it's a pain just to track something like that
Yeah.
down. Of like
Yeah.
a certain.
And that's what I was trying to
cover
like. I want to buy one, and I've still yet to buy one
in
physically.
good condition.
No, they were in
in
good
a
condition.
box?
It's just I haven't bought one physically. Like the first one I got, Mike from Noodle Tree bought it for me and took it to me. And I was like, well, that's kind of not the fun
Mm.
of searching for it and not getting it.
Yeah.
And that website too, you can buy the whole series. I think the whole series is like 180, and because I think it's like 7 in the series. So
Yeah.
it's like you can buy it and they charge you a little bit more because it's guaranteed. But it's like that's not the same. That's just
Yeah.
cheating. That's
It's not the same.
like, it's
ever.
kind of like buying a car online. Like, yeah, you got the car,
Carvana?
but you didn't go to the hassle of test driving it and seeing like if you want it.
Don't
Like,
know the smell. I
Yeah.
guess
yeah,
The
smells
car
like new car, but you
smell,
weren't in it. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know.
yeah. So you're just buying just because you saw it online. I was like, it's not the same.
It's like buying anything online, right? You don't.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of like.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
picky when it comes to like that. But if it's something like electronic, like a PlayStation, like I already know, like it's all gonna be the same. There's nothing different. But if
Definitely.
something there's just like certain variations and stuff, I'm kind of like, do I really want to just
Yeah.
buy it? No, I want to go and get it at the store.
There's a Walmart by my house that has. I don't know if it's every Walmart in town. It's the one I go to by
Mm.
my house, and it has the kid aisle, there's this aisle that's super nostalgia.
Really?
It's just Pokemon, Ninja Turtles, Aliens, which is that one got me.
Aliens, yeah,
aliens, man.
Aliens.
Alien toys are
Like,
back.
they're really relevant. still?
Aliens, yeah, that's weird.
Well, they did have that one movie
Because they're back with they're owned by Disney now.
Yeah.
So Disney's like, we got aliens, sell this
They
stuff.
can do
I saw that
everything.
one
Get it
meme
out
where they're like,
there.
now that they own aliens, that makes
Mickey
Queen,
with
the
it makes
queen's
a
a
princess. Yeah, a
the
princess.
queen alien is a Disney princess.
Princess now,
Jesus.
technically.
That's crazy.
So speaking of nostalgia, because not many people remember. Do you ever remember the show Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Oh yeah, I remember the movies.
Yeah.
There was like 3 movies. I
Movies,
there
think.
was a
yeah.
cartoon too.
And the cartoon, I remember waking
I don't
up
even remember the
watching
cartoon because it was always all Attack of the Killer Tomato. Like it had like an opera guy like singing the
Yes.
theme song. I saw everybody was like, no, I don't remember. I was like, yeah, they're just like
It's been a while,
radioactive
though.
tomatoes.
In the movie, they're just like red balls rolling around
Yeah,
the
exactly.
road. Like they put him down a hill. Like, you see him, they're bouncing, hit a guy, and he's like, ah.
I just saw Killer Clowns from Outer Space. this
Oh
Halloween.
yeah, I've seen
My
I've
that.
never
kids
seen
watched
it,
that
and I was like, I
before.
love that movie now.
Crazy.
I remember I had friends who were so scared of it.
Really?
I'm like,
They just hate clowns. I have.
it's
cousins who hate
unsettling, like the
clowns.
way they look, but I'm like, scary? Not like that. It's not that
Yeah, it's
scary.
not.
I was like, kind of reminds.
Acting could've been
they kinda-
better, but
They
yeah.
kind of remind me of the Fooglies from Spy Kids. They make all
Oh
those
yeah.
like different monsters.
They all.
Oh,
look-
yeah,
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
that's what they look
backwards.
like. They just look like one of those that weren't done.
I watched Critters this past week.
Oh, yeah,
too.
Critters.
The second one.
Mhm.
And
People were actually scared of that.
I don't know why they don't make that over again too. Critters. I'm like,
Make it
bring
better.
back big little monsters again.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Gremlins.
Oh, I love
Well,
Gremlins.
That's
Speaking,
another
speaking
one.
of nostalgia, Jose, I got one for you. See if you've been.
Yeah,
heard of it.
Jose's a young
Okay, well,
guy
because
here.
I've never heard of any of these things.
I know.
Oh,
my
he's
God.
too young.
We're
He's too young.
old.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna
too young.
throw this table right now.
So did you ever hear of a show called Bananas in Pajamas?
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
So it was 2 bananas
catch-
who wore pajamas.
Hey, I'm in.
They're
That's a good
marching
premise.
everywhere. Or something
Hey.
else. The song, right?
Yeah, so they had a rat that was their friend. I think.
Oh my gosh. They had like they're teddy bears, I think. Were they rats
Oh
or
my
teddy bears?
God.
They had big round ears. I remember
I
that.
thought it was a rat.
Oh god, we gotta look this up now.
I'm looking up bananas in pajamas.
We're
Hey,
British.
you might see some weird thing.
My sister had them.
They were British. I remember that.
Yeah.
The little accent.
My sister had the had one of the dolls. I think it was like number 1 or number 2.
Like tall.
It was about like that, like maybe like a foot. Like
Did it
18
come to
inches.
life in the house?
Well, you would squeeze the
and
hand and it would
walk
sing the
through
theme song.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
This is
Yes, it's a theme song.
somebody needs to make like an EDM mix of this.
Right?
bro. Like what's up with the shark melody?
If you heard this in the middle of the night just blaring in your house, you would freak out.
I'd
Yeah.
shit myself.
You'd scream.
It was a rat and 3 bears.
An alley.
Oh, ran 3 bears. Okay.
Guys, I want to let you guys know right now the Nickelodeon NFL thing is electric. It
Is
is
it?
so good. I
How are the
actually
bananas performing?
the bananas are performing well. The kids love the bananas, but I think we need to listen to this because this was the intro apparently
Oh,
to
good marketing.
that's
move.
electric. And
That's
I'm
a good
watching
marketing.
the stream right now. It's so good.
Oh, my
There's one of the announcers. I don't know who the announcers are, but one of them was like, "Oh, this is from 2000, before I was even born." And I was like, "You whore! Come on!" Even I'm like, "Am I old now? 97? What is this?"
Welcome to the club.
Who this?
So apparently, if you have both of the banana and pajama plush ones that my sister have, they both go for $85 right now.
Whoa.
I mean, who wouldn't want bananas in pajamas?
I
How long do they
know.
physically not like just corrode into nothingness?
I
I have no
know.
idea.
How long can like a beanie baby last
I don't
before
know.
it's
People
like,
put them in
you pick
plastic
it up and it-
bags, you know?
That's
Bananas
true, yeah, you
and
do that.
pajamas are eternal. That's what I think we need
Yeah,
to
they were like
realize.
Yeah, they're
They're gonna
Lovecraftian
hunt
only
horror
things.
monsters.
They're only like 12 inches, but if you have the pair, they're $80.
Oh my gosh, they are.
I think my sister actually still has it, so there goes $40 right there.
We just gotta go down to the
Mhm.
to,
Let's go to the pulga.
yeah, just go pick something out.
Good thing
find
my
some
mom
toys.
is like a giant hoarder for us, so I have all my
Thanks,
old
Mom.
toys chilling there. So I got to see what I have in there. I just haven't gotten it because they're like, once you actually get a house, we'll give you all your stuff so you can get out of my house. So
I'm a huge nerd for Turok, and I
oh,
I
dang,
found
Turok.
the action
Dang,
figure
I
of the
remember that
boss, the
game.
Primogen
Mhm.
from the second one, and I found it at the flea market, and I took that baby home. I was like, yes!
Yes!
I have
I found it.
He sits in my car with me. When
I have the American choppers when they were popular. when the show was popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have like the first like 4 bikes that they made. I have like the model like
Oh, the little models. of
yeah,
them?
the one like 16 scale. And I was like, And then I had a Connect version, so my mom has it stored somewhere, so I gotta find them.
Dang.
That you assemble.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I used to do that a lot. I used to
Get
do
it back.
Connects and Legos.
Really?
Yeah. That was like my thing.
I'm not
Um,
mechanically skilled.
I was like, I really wish STEM was a really more popular thing back then.
Mhm.
Because
which is weird because we had BattleBots. Remember? That's a
Yeah,
thing that's back
BattleBots.
too now. BattleBots is
Mhm.
back,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was popular back then. And it was like, why didn't we even
Robots,
push kids to
man.
do that? Like,
yeah,
but that was like the peak of robot technology.
Yeah,
We're like,
Oh, yeah.
I was a nerd in middle school. We did because I went to Jordan Middle School, the
Mhm.
north side, so they had a solar car like team there. So we
That's
would make the solar
crazy.
cars, and then because they had shop there, so we had like the balsa wood and like stuff, and we'd make the little cars. The first year was solar,
that's pretty cool.
and then the second year they switched it to hydro. So it
Wow.
was still you would use the solar power to get the fuel cell to start like pulling the water because it would use it to power it, and then it would power up your car, and then you would go and
And then put a potato.
yeah, then you'd make
rather
your
use
little
potatoes
design.
for batteries too. Just put
Yeah.
that baby in there.
So then you would make the little car, and then you would race everybody else. And then at the bottom, what they did was they took a straw with Velcro and they attached it, and then they ran a fishing line so the car would stay straight, so you couldn't steer it. So then
Oh
you would
my
just set it there, and then they like I think they gave you like 3 minutes to like let the sun heat it up. Then when it would start going,
Exciting.
3
Yeah.
minutes.
so once it would start going, they'd be like on your like you'd hold up the car, and it'd be just like like a drag race it because the engine was already going, so the tires are already spinning. And they
Mhm.
all go, and you would just let it go, and it would
that
Take
part
off.
sounds
Shudder
pretty
away.
rad.
yeah. I was like, that's dope. Yeah.
Guys, I want to
So-
give you guys a Nickelodeon update real fast.
Okay.
I want to let you guys know, or I want to let you guys guess. What do you think they started off the broadcast? Well, how do you think they just opened up the kickoff with? What do you think they said?
I'm
you
ready.
No. They threw up the "Are you ready, kids?"
Oh.
And of course, the other two got people in the booth. Aye, Captain, right back. This is how, guys.
Oh
Again,
my
if you're
God.
not watching the Nickelodeon thing, you're fed. You're
I
on
was
the
gonna
fence.
say, I was gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and record this if I can.
You need to, because if
So
you're
I
not
can rewatch
watching
it.
it, you're a cop. That's just like
You're a cop.
CBS is not doing this game justice.
No, it's not.
Now, will you get annoyed that they're over explaining everything? Like they told us immediately, like, so the Saints got the ball because they did a coin flip before the game and they chose to defer, which means so if you don't get annoyed by that, you'll enjoy everything else.
I gotta record it right now.
Good. And by the way, we have some comments. Texas Bearded Cartel said, "Yo, I believe that's how you say chingones." I think that's how you say that. And
Yes.
Donna, of course, slandering me as always. What's up? I heard Jose keeps crying for me. Donna, I do, because you don't come in and do the show.
I know her parents came in today, so she was like, I gotta
Ooh.
stay back and be with the parents. So
Oh boy, the first down line has slime on it. It's like orange with like green slime coming around
man,
it, guys.
I really want to see
This is
the
awesome.
Nickelodeon.
I've never seen anything better.
Every time you get a touchdown, you get gacked.
I mean, they
Boom.
better. They better. There is a slime bucket beside
was it?
them.
The
Wasn't it?
commentators are Keenan
Well,
and Kel.
What was the?
Orange soda?
What was the show? Oh, Figure It Out, where there was like a mystery word, and whenever they said the mystery word, they would get splat.
Oh yeah.
Where they're like, he said the mystery word. It's like, meh, meh, meh.
How much slime do you guys got here?
I'm not gonna lie, that was always a dream of mine to go
To get
to
slimed?
Universal when they had how like at the end of the shows they'd be like, it was filmed at Universal Studios.
all that.
As a Nickelodeon?
yeah.
I think it's like empty now or something. Or it's
It
Yeah,
like,
well now it's the Blue Man Group
changed.
space, but when I went
Wow.
in
God damn
my
it.
sophomore year,
Damn
they had
them Blue
just
Men.
moved them out like the year before. So they're like, oh, now we got the Blue Man Group. So now the Blue Man Group chills out there.
Whack.
And then they had a hotel
is-
because when they first did it, I guess they're getting close to it. I think it was 96. They made a time capsule and they put it right in front of that studio.
Dang.
So when they left, they moved it over to the hotel,
Uh-huh.
but now the hotel closed. So now they
Dang.
took it and they moved it over to their main studio now in California. So the time capsule's over there. But they
That's
were
crazy.
they had put stuff like in. I don't think they showed it on camera just so that way they could open it 50
It's
years
because
later.
the GAT came to life. When they moved it.
So, have we gotten the slime formula yet? Is that just like proprietary under lock and key? Because I want to make my own slime. What if I want to
My
slime
kids-
myself?
My kids make their own slime constantly.
Yeah, but I want the authentic,
authentic?
Nickelodeon slime.
Slime.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you want it? Because what if it stains really bad?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, that's the price. You got to do it at least once. I mean, I think every human being should be slimed at least once in their life.
like how was slime technology back in the 90s? Was it
How
good?
to make
Like
slime.
anti like
yeah,
because the slime my kids play with has like, oh, it doesn't stain, and you can do this with it.
right. Like you form it.
It's all
and
high
everything.
tech now slime.
Yeah, let me
How
tell
to
you.
make Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, we need that. This is the
Wow.
authors we need.
No, we don't.
Oh no.
Does it sound bad?
It's
It says-
acidic and
It says
radioactive.
making classic Nickelodeon slime is super easy. All you need to do is mix oatmeal,
Oh.
applesauce, and vanilla pudding in a large bowl. Then add green food coloring till it's as green
That's
as you
it?
want.
It was essentially food, which is gross.
Yeah, you're
They're
just
being
getting like
dumped
baby
in
food
baby
dumped on
food.
you.
Oh,
All right.
210
so
culture challenge.
I definitely think that we should have a wager of some sorts, and the loser has to get slimed.
Yeah,
and that
yeah, I'd be
that
down
that
with that.
has to happen. It doesn't. I don't know what we're gonna make the bet on or what, but I need to see someone get slimed essentially.
Yes.
So
Uh,
let's keep that on the back burner.
Or we make some, then we bring Steve over, tell him to wear a nice shirt, then just dunk him.
Steve, I mean, Steve, I know he's down. Steve's down for anything.
I got it. We all find a competitor to make beans. We'll have a bean bash, and then the losing party all gets slimed.
Like, ooh, that sounds dope. Let's make it happen.
Wow.
You've heard it here today.
beans and slime.
Gonna get
Beans and
slime.
slime.
Beans and slime. Sounds like
the,
Taco
the,
Bell
the
night.
youth movement would come.
Free slime.
Free
Or
slime.
no, you throw a party, like instead of like a foam party, it's a slime party.
I would go there. I'd be the first in line.
You have to wear 90s
Slime
clothes.
party.
Maybe.
I would dress up
90s
as
clothes, hell
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I'll go to a bean.
No
party.
shirt and just pants.
Just slather me in refried beans.
Yes.
You wanna-
Bean fight.
which room would you like to go?
Mashed.
Would you like to go to the refried, the black bean, or
When I was a kid, when I lived on a ranch near Bernie, they had cows, and we would put like M88s in the cow.
Yeah.
What do they call them? The
Cow
cow
pies.
Cow pies. There you go, cow pie. So we put in a little cow pie and then light it, but we would stand next to it and see who's gonna run away first and who's gonna get hit with the most.
Oh,
We would
man.
just sit
So,
there and close
you
our
were
eyes and
playing
wait.
chicken, but it was cow.
Yep.
so
Gross.
it's not as funny, but I still think it's funny. Did y'all guys hear about the dude that blew his hands up at the drag race?
I saw like
No.
the first like
So-
30
This
seconds of the
news?
video, but I
So-
didn't see
With
like,
what?
actually what
So-
happened.
What did he do it with?
With a firework. So he
Okay.
got the ones that go in the tube that's supposed to shoot up the big ones.
Oh, no.
So, on Sunday, last Sunday,
Pendejo.
they were having a illegal drag racing race at the Eisenhower Flea Market. So that was already one strike. So they thought it'd be cool to do donuts in the parking lot and then launch fireworks in the middle of the things.
It
I mean,
sounds rad.
that does sound very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very cool.
So these guys decided to cut the wick in half because the ones that go up in the sky have a really long wick. So they cut them like in half. And when they lit it, it was a short fuse, and boom, there goes his hands.
Oh.
So the guy holding it lost both of his hands. And then the guy who lit it lost a couple of fingers, and he's blind. So,
So who got the
Oh,
worst?
that's
Who
right,
got
'cause
the
his
worst
eyes are
of
open
it?
too.
Who got the worst of it there?
That dude.
I would say probably the guy who has no hands.
No
I
hands
mean-
versus no sight. I don't know.
I mean, because you can't
Somebody
drive,
give him a
you can't-
hand.
I mean, you
Oh,
can't really
no.
do much. Like you can't clean yourself. I mean, I
You
guess
can't
can
use
learn.
your eyes to see what you're doing with your hand, and if you
can't-
don't have a hand, you can't.
I want to
there's no point
see
in
you.
having
Let me
eyes.
put my
Yeah.
nub on your face.
So there was the one meme where they're like, the guy driving next week for next week's meet, and he's like biting the teeth of the steering wheel. He's driving with his teeth.
Yeah,
Oh my god. I mean, he can get metal hands.
I always find it
Some-
remarkable. Like, I haven't lost a limb. Like,
Yeah,
I think I
thank
was thinking
God.
about that like in the
Yeah.
shower,
Thank
and
God.
like I just look and I'm like, man, I got him. Like,
All right.
That worked.
They're
We're
still
good.
here. Like that's one thing I want to leave life with. Is all of them. Like
Yeah.
these are my ears that started from the beginning. Because I feel bad. Like you lose a finger or any part, it's like it doesn't get to end the video game with you. Like
Yeah.
the soul's journey that you go on.
Right.
You're like, man, it took off right in the middle of it.
Or like,
That's a bummer.
yeah, or the shield when you start off with all the shield, and by the end of it, you're just like without a shield, you're just running around.
But like speaking about journeys, like, can you tell us about like your journey? Like,
Yeah, I was
'cause
gonna
see
say
you
back to
brought
the book.
Yeah.
Back to the book.
Back to
The
the
whole
book.
way.
Hey,
Oh,
yeah,
nostalgia.
you're an author, right? You do book stuff.
I
We've
do
al-
book
we've
stuff.
only been talking
Book
for about
stuff.
40 minutes, which
Hey,
it
I mean,
flew
that's
by.
why I thought. Segue.
I think I book good.
Book good.
I book good. Yeah, I didn't. Well, I mean, I was writing since I was playing these games. Like I would, like I said, I love Turok,
Yeah.
so I would like write little stories
Mhm.
because you see things like objects in games or places in the game, and then my imagination would just go wild with it and be like, ooh, what was going on there when no one before this happened, or what does it look like when? So I would think about that stuff as a kid and just write stories. Like one of the kickoffs for me ever writing anything was I bought like a bunch of note cards and I just started drawing like Godzilla monsters, like kaiju,
nice.
like big, but my own. And the one I made up, I don't even know why I named him this. I had a better name and I lost it, so I just named him Lizard. So it's lizard with an O.
Lizzo, but
Yeah.
lizard.
And I just named him that. And he was like a T-Rex dude with a claw, pincer tail, and like
Dang.
I had a whole story. Like every note card had the little stories about him behind it, and then like I would write
Backstory.
papers about like this is the big war that happened and they came out, they emerged, and this is like Pacific Rim kind of like writing what's going on.
That's really cool.
And I would I would bring those to school. I would lay them out in my living room just to look at all of them because I colored them and everything. So it was like this big mat of all these monsters I just thought up and colored, and I was just looking and be like, cool. Like, and it just started from there. I grew up. I started. It was after the army that I was like, because I wrote during the army, and then after the army, going to college, and then meeting people who were writers, it was like, oh, you can really actually just do this as a career in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking.
Right? Hey, that's how great things start, right?
You don't think you can, and then you end up like, if you set yourself up right and you're smart about it, yeah, you can do that.
I just think it's like it's an untapped like section at all, because there's always people that are like, oh yeah, I can write, but like, I mean,
yeah, it's actually pretty. That's one thing in the writing community. What made me stand out like with my professors, was that I already finished stories. I wrote novels already.
Yeah.
And they were dealing with like kids out of high school who hadn't wrote anything. I was already older,
barely
so I
write
wrote
like a
stuff.
one-page essay.
Yeah, they were like, I wrote stuff, and then what is it? It's like a hand-scrawled, scribbled little thing, and that was it. And they never planned to publish it or do anything with it. Me, I was like, I had huge ambitions, and I already did the work. So like my professors are like, oh, like, whoa, dude, you're already doing the foot traffic without this having to be homework or having nobody's making you do it. I'm like, no, I just absolutely love doing this. So,
and was it like a tough process to get like your first book published, or was it?
Diving into it is, well, the hardest part of all of it is even just showing it to people, because writers tend to be introverted, and I'm like 50-50.
Yeah,
I'm as equally introverted about my stuff as I am extroverted. So like my urge to get it out there is like, I want everyone to see it, but also I'm like insecure of like, you're gonna judge.
I don't know what they think about it.
That's kind of how I am when we film. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna film. Then I get there, I'm like, you want to go talk to them? I'm just like,
exactly. You just gotta kind of like,
you want to make that connection for me. That's what I was like, oh, and it's funny because she's the opposite. She doesn't like being on camera, but she has no problem going and go talking to everybody. So it's like the opposite. So it's like, it works great. You do the talking to get the thing, and I get ready, and then I'll take care of the video part. Like, it's great.
Honestly, I envy you, G, because I need that like spokesperson to go make that first like contact. It's like an astronaut. I need someone to go like land on the moon first, then I can land on the moon. And by the way, our good friend Ruth Shanklin went ahead and commented that Ben was an amazingly weird small child. So I'm glad that we got that in. Shout out Ruth. We appreciate you watching. Could you tell us more stories about this weird, amazingly small child?
Are you asking my mom or me?
I'm asking your mom. That's where we'll get the good stories.
Next week on the podcast.
Story of
your mom.
You see my lip? Like, I got a busted. Not this one. This is from Chaplets. It's from the winter. But on this side, if you notice, it's uneven. I busted that when I was like 5 years old, because I would climb in our bathroom. I would climb the sink to get water, and then I would jump down, because I was like I am now, short, so I couldn't reach up. So I had to climb up. And I had watched The Rocketeer, nostalgia again. I watched The Rocketeer, and I just leapt right off, and I hit the door. And when I hit the door, my head went back and hit the sink. And so I bent myself like real. And so they had to stitch. It was 7 stitches on the inside and on the outside.
Dang. Welcome to Jackass.
My mom dealt with that constantly. I was a kid who was constantly like injuring himself, because that's why I'm shocked I have all my limbs still. But I got like the scar on my head. I was in the army, which was another thing where it was like, oh my goodness.
More scars.
Because I was a combat guy. I did combat stuff. I was a cavalry scout. So it was like I rolled out on missions. I rode strikers, Humvees. I kicked down doors, all that. So the fact that I didn't like nothing, like didn't leave my body is pretty remarkable.
Thank God.
Yep.
Everything's still intact.
Especially after that kind of childhood and me
Yeah.
smashing my face into everything constantly.
Oh man, you can't always be safe, but you can try to be. Protect yourself.
My girl, she's super like scared
Oh, opposite.
of
Gotcha.
like she's very nervous, and I understand it. I'm like I am, but my life, like after you smash your face and you do all these other things and you've taken risks, you get less afraid of it, and the rewards are usually better. So like I tell her, like I push her, like let's trespass, let's do this, let's do the illegal
Get her
stuff.
out of her.
like let's do
out of-
something a little
yeah,
different that you've
space.
never done,
Yeah.
so that you could be like. You can see how rewarding it is, and you realize like it's not the end of the world afterwards. You know,
Yeah.
like you might
You
hurt
gotta
yourself.
be like
yeah.
that sometimes.
Break a bone maybe sometimes, but
It'll grow
You're-
back.
yeah, your
it'll
bone's not gonna,
heal
like,
back.
explode out of your body and fly into the atmosphere and leave you forever. Like it's still there. It'll heal you.
For most part, unless it's a firework.
But
But it was even funny.
Boom, boom.
It's funny because it even looked like in Tropic Thunder when they have that scene where his hands are blown off and it's just like the meat's just like hanging from the sides.
Yes.
That's exactly how that
He's
video
holding
looked.
it.
Yes, that's exactly how that video looked. Like,
Pobrecito.
It reminds me of the commercials, the daytime commercial. Of, I have rheumatoid arthritis. She's shaking her head. It's like
and then of course they had
To
the
all
memes.
those rheumatoid
it's
arthritis,
that
I'm
same.
sorry.
It's literally this because it's the same scene when they hold it up. Like,
Yeah.
are you making her hold it up like
Yes.
this?
I'm
Just show
pretty
her
sure it
normal.
hurts.
And then they had the meme of the guy from Scary Movie. Was it 3?
It's
He's
my
also
strong hand.
The other guy, he's like, I want to go to the truck meet.
Mixes the potatoes.
Yeah.
Like the most like that mentally scarred me of him
This guy-
touching
Oh
the
my
food with
God.
it. Like,
I'm
just-
no.
Just gotta get in there and
I don't
put
like
it in the
normal
position.
hands touching like that. I don't
Yeah.
even like to touch food. Like
Yeah.
I get ugh. So
Put some gloves on.
Yep.
But yeah, but
Okay.
definitely, can you tell me about the story you brought with you?
Oh well, yeah.
Like a
This
little
one's
bit?
for y'all. This one's for y'all here.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if you want to check that
that
out.
looks interesting.
Out of the
There's a
Endtown.
lot of spoilers though if I even talk about that, like what happens, because I'm working on the third book right now for it. It's the end, and
Dang.
it's post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
I like those kind of stories.
It's the end of the world, and it gets weird. Like the last book, it's on another planet, so like it goes that far into like
Dang.
where this character goes with his whole journey and stuff. But yeah, it's he gets left behind by his family commits suicide.
Ooh.
And so he's stuck in the house with no means to escape.
It's already dark. I like it.
Yeah, it's very. Oh, that first chapter ends with that. This whole scene is pretty sad and grisly about it. But he ends up, stuck there, can't get out. Luckily, he does eventually. But it's like the horror of being stuck in a house, And then
Yeah.
eventually he gets out and sees the apocalyptic
Lives.
world that's happened and all the monsters. Because I wrote my horror stories and it's loosely attached to those.
Oh, okay.
It has a lot of Fallout vibes. I understand.
Yeah.
I
I
love
understand.
like
apocalyptic stuff. I don't know why I'm super fascinated.
Like, have you ever seen that movie, The Road?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
like one of my favorite books too.
It's really good.
Cormac
Yeah.
McCarthy.
I mean,
love
I like the way they portray it, but like you said, it left a lot of things that the book had.
I cry. They did, yeah, they did. Well, the book also he like doesn't use punctuation,
Mm-mm.
like periods. He has
Yeah.
no quotations or anything
No
like that.
emotion.
He's very. It's not emotional.
Mhm.
I mean, not. It is emotional, but he's not pushing it.
But he
He's not like.
doesn't push it.
He's
He
not
wants
like.
you to feel it on your own.
Just by seeing that their interactions,
Yeah.
that's how you start feeling it. And the same was with the movie. The movie, like I watched it and I cried because I'm a dad, so it made me like
Yeah.
when he has to just I don't want to ruin it, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's a good
a
movie.
10-year-old movie. But yeah,
I always like to think that Idiocracy is a real life documentary.
Yeah,
I was like,
that
the more this
movie.
is coming to start to become more of a documentary.
I
than it is
say
a
this
movie.
all the time. It's gonna go. The world happens in two ways: either apocalyptic or like Halo UNSC cool Star Trek stuff.
Ooh, that'd
I'm
be
like, it's
cool.
only like logically
Yeah.
going
I'd be
like
down with that.
two ways. We're either gonna be like these cool spacefaring people, or we're gonna ruin this and burn everything in the
Yeah.
ground. Either way, I'm fine with both of those. Like
I'll
Mad
survive
Max
some
world,
way.
Still gives me material.
Halo world, Mad Max world,
Yeah.
both sound pretty rad.
Go get me a rig.
I was gonna say,
What's his the little V thing or whatever they do?
Oh
I
yeah.
don't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. That's
The
a great
Mad
movie.
Max.
as long as I get to wear a
Yeah.
Mandalorian mask, I'm good.
Oh.
Mediocre. There you go.
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
Yeah, man. I need to go
Witness
over
me.
the Thunderdome. Oh, man,
That's a
we'll
good
see.
one.
That's like one of my favorites.
Just leave. He tells them to give him that dope speech. Just leave.
Dang, it's just a lot of nostalgia today.
I know.
Yeah,
man.
this
Well,
was episode nostalgia for sure.
Nostalgia for sure.
that triggered a lot of like the book stuff was nostalgia stuff, like again the monsters I wrote about because I don't I have you on Facebook, so
Yeah.
I've been like drawing monsters, like art for my monsters. So I'm gonna make like this cool occult like Necronomicon book. You know, like when you see horror movies, they open it and it says like the kind of demons that are in there and like the rituals for bringing them and all that. I'm gonna make that for all the horror short stories I wrote for my other 2 books, and I'm gonna put that. And there's 2 other horror story books that I'm working on.
You know what'd be really interesting if you like wrote like a screenplay for Doom, because since you're talking about Doom, like because you know they need a good story for like their movies, because they had Doom with The Rock and was it Urban? I know his last
Carl
name.
Urban.
Carl Urban. And then they had another one, but it was an animation, and it was like, but they need a good Doom screenwrite, I think.
Because it's like, why would you take the demons out of Doom?
You need the demons. You need the demons.
They're demon. The game's awesome now.
I just love how you can play it on a calculator.
Yeah, you can play it on a calculator.
I'm just like, how is that even a thing? They're just like
life hacks in high school.
You have to download the software.
I look at this and I freak out how it works. Like I'm like, this is a bunch of rocks, and then someone put magic power from the sky into it. Like I can have blood feuds with people I don't like on social media from rock and electricity running through this, and it trips me out because you see guys fiddle with it. And they're like, if it's too hot, the RAM goes down and all that. I'm like, how? What physics is this? This is like witchcraft.
That's why I like watching like the PC builds, and they're like, we're gonna put a water cooler in this, and I'm like, why?
With like, real water?
I'm like, why? Like now you're making me think my little fan's gonna like blow up because they're like cooler. Oh, real quick, can we just talk about how awesome that camera angle is now? So it's an 8K camera angle.
8K
that they set just for touchdowns, and they showed one yesterday from the Rams game, and that literally looked like Madden. Like they color graded it, and like it was all blurred, and it looked like a next gen level of like Madden. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
The camera and the lens, because I found a website that said what camera and lens they use. It's only about an $8,000 system. Like you can buy, you can go to Best Buy and buy the lens and buy the camera.
8K though.
But there's an 8K camera angle now when they score touchdowns.
Jeez.
Which is ridiculous.
I just want to let you guys know they did in fact score their first touchdown, and the little pylons, they all turned into like slime buckets, and they started shooting. They're like,
man, I need to watch Nickelodeon now.
And it's kind of funny. The panel is 3 people, and then the girl that's like 10 years old or whatever she is, and then her interjection, she doesn't know. Yeah, she really doesn't know what's going on. She's like,
why are they hurting each other?
Let's go.
Watch the puppy ball.
and then there was a question. What happens if they need to go to the bathroom? What do they do?
They have an outhouse.
So
my whole thing about all that was like, how did they decide which game to put? Because I would have just put the like blowout game, like the guaranteed blowout.
Hey, this is what they picked.
But they picked this game, which I think they're like pretty competitive. So I'm like,
I'll tell you right now, this game's gonna be a blowout. So don't you worry.
They
should have be their own.
They should have had Tampa and Washington been on the game.
Names.
That'd have been more fun. Why does that team called the football team and the other ones are called? The other one actually has a name, and this team just called the football team.
The ball team.
So we went to the flea market in the Valley, in Dallas.
They already have jerseys there?
In the UTSA game, at the bowl game, and we went to the flea market, and they had like the beanies, but you know how like for copyright reasons they have to like make them look similar without them looking like the logo. So they had the Washington, and it was just a W, and I was like, technically that's copyright now because the logo's the W, because they just had the like they had the letter for the city. But, like the Cowboys was just the D, and it was like the Cowboy colors, and then Houston was H with the colors. So for Washington it was W with the colors. So I was like, technically that's the legit thing right now. So
they need a
Spider-Man's with a wasp.
They do need to get a mascot though.
So I was like, that's funny. Have y'all guys seen the Marvel Luchador pops?
I think I've seen one with
I remember the old ones of like Sonic
I guess they brought it back for the 30th anniversary of Marvel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So so they have like the Hulk, and the Hulk has like a mohawk, but he's like a buff like wrestler. And they have like Spider-Man, and in Mexico they had their like WrestleMania, I think like 2 months ago. And they hired guys to dress up as like Captain America. Like they made the mask look like Captain America. It was a partnership, so it was the Marvel Lucha match. And they had like a guy dressed up at like a Thanos. Like a Thanos was like one of the villains. I think it was Thanos and Spider-Man versus Captain America and I want to say Iron Man.
Should be the whole group being up on them.
And I was like, so Spider-Man and Thor are homies now? I guess that's how that works because it's supposed to be a tag team match. I was like, I guess. I was like,
They are now.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
you know, like the Green Goblin.
He's not
or
a
something.
villain. There you go.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Okay.
He's in
But
the
they
lineup.
made the pop figures to like go with the whole series. So I guess they're doing like a big thing this year. But it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
The
Yeah.
Spider-Man, he has like the spider like painted on his chest. And he has like the Spider-Man mask. So it's like that's cool. And then Iron Man, but they all gave him like names in Spanish. I forget what Iron Man's is. I think it's like Intelligent Man or something. Like they gave it, like,
Intelligent Man.
but you can tell it's supposed to be Iron Man because
Tony
it's red and
Stark.
yellow. And then they had
Tony
Captain
Man.
Tony
Tony
Man.
That's Iron Stark.
That's
So-
funny.
That
Iron
sounds pretty
Stark.
cool.
And that's why I
actually.
just think it's funny because I'm
That
like,
is
well,
pretty
they're
cool.
licensed by Marvel, so why don't they just like call him Iron Man, like Lucha Iron Man or something? But they all give him like names in Spanish.
That's
so
because
like,
it's funnier.
yeah,
It's more
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, they would change their name.
yeah.
The rip-off.
They even have Wolverine. Wolverine's the one that looks like dope out of all of them because he has like gloves, and the gloves have like the part where
Oh,
the-
adamantium.
where they come
claws.
out. Yeah, where the claws
That's
come out.
cool.
But it's just like the knuckle part of it, but it looks cool.
That's really dope.
I'm ready to see who they're gonna cast for the new, like
Wolverine.
new X-Men, bringing into Marvel and stuff like
Mm.
Wolverine. Because Hugh Jackman's too tall for Wolverine. Wolverine's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like Wolverine in real life is like 5'8", 5'6".
I just want.
I think he's like 5'3".
Oh,
I'm
he's
just
super
very
short.
excited that
Yeah.
Deadpool's
He's
gonna
I
come
think he's
out
shorter
in.
than I am.
That Deadpool's coming out in what's his name?
X-Men?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, strange because of the
Supposedly.
multiverse.
Supposedly they said that they looked at the cast and the cast had Tom Holland and what's his name? Brian Reynolds.
Dude.
So they're like, is that Deadpool and Spider-Man gonna
How do
show
They're
up?
bringing
in-
everybody together now.
But like, it's not a rated R Deadpool or what?
Well, they said the
right?
next Deadpool is still gonna be rated R,
Okay,
but I don't know how he's
Okay.
gonna fit in the.
carry on.
Carry on.
Do what you're
I
gonna
was
do.
like, they're probably gonna do like if they do like a PG where they're probably gonna like do like the bit where he's all son of a, and then like a cut to the next scene or something.
I mean, we'll see because you have like a you have a set audience, and you don't want to lose them.
I just want him to do like some random joke about like Robbie Downey Jr. and be like, Iron Man's dead, but how's Robert Downey Jr. making another movie? Like something random to throw in there.
How's he
That's,
still
throw
getting
in there.
paid for this?
that's what I want to see. But
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
the
we-
MCU writers got good writers too. So
they got
Yeah.
good.
they'll give Deadpool some good
shout out to
stuff.
John Favreau.
Yeah, he's doing great
He's
right
like-
now.
Like, man, what a
He's the man.
nerd,
I
dude.
know.
Thank you. Like, that's what I feel like. What we see now, I always wondered why didn't they do that earlier?
Yeah,
Like, this is the new. Everyone's like Marvel. I'm like, also, why did no one do this before with other movies? Like, make them
They
like a
dared
show,
not to
but
try.
big.
Yeah.
You know,
they're talking about doing it for the original monsters. Universal's trying to get
Yeah,
it
the
going.
whole
with
Dark
Frankenstein
Universe
and
thing that
Ooh,
they
yeah,
tried with.
I
Dracula
like
and all
Yeah.
them. But
They're doing it with Godzilla. It's working with
Mhm.
Godzilla so far.
yeah,
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
I can't wait for the
MCU
next
huge,
one.
but it's
Mhm.
still good. It's still going.
That's
DC didn't. DC's like
Oh,
now they're
DC's
just like
They're
we'll
like-
just like we'll make whatever.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
that's why I laugh because
They've had so much time to
there's
do
another guy on
stuff.
Facebook is like a big DC fan. He's like, "Oh my god, Wonder Woman's coming out." I'm like, "Yeah," I'm just like, "Yeah, cool." And because I was like, "It's garbage," and he's like, "No, it's like the best one." I was like, "Well, yeah, it's still gonna be the best one out of all the DC movies," but I was like, it's like when you go buy like a trash can and there's something like on top, and you're kind of like, "Oh, what's that?" And you look
Yep.
at it and you're like, "Oh, that might work," and then you pick it up and you see that it's broken, and you're like, "Oh, that's why." You just throw it back in the trash. I was like, "That's Wonder Woman."
Yeah.
I was like, you're willing to pick it out of the trash and give it a chance to take a look just to see like, is it worth it? And then you realize there's something wrong with it, and you're just like, never
I
mind.
liked Aquaman.
I haven't seen Aquaman.
It was like being a kid and just
James Wan made it.
smashing all your
Yeah.
toys together.
Mhm.
Like it just got it was so much and
Intense.
it was so crazy.
Mhm.
Like I was like, and it's not like the smartest movie,
Yeah.
No, but
Bridges of Madison County or like you're watching it and you're like these like big sea monsters fighting other big and you're like, and your like brain clicks off for a second. All the color, it's amazing. Yeah,
I watched
like that one.
was it We Can Be Heroes? It's a new show on or it's a new movie on Netflix by Robert Rodriguez. And
Oh,
it's
no.
actually the sequel to Shark Boy and Lava Girl, kind of.
Oh,
That
what?
I was gonna say when we talked about it earlier that he
Yeah.
has a new
Yeah.
like Spy Kids thing coming
Yeah,
out.
so
That's
it's about the
crazy.
kids.
He's good with the kids movies.
Yeah,
Man.
he
It's
is.
so weird. Like
yeah,
and
and it's funny because
Till
That's what he
Dawn.
does. Yeah, man,
Well,
I
it's-
love those movies.
and that's where like I grew the respect for him because Shark Boy's in there, but they didn't get Taylor Lautner to play Shark Boy. But they got the
Is he
original.
busy?
They got the original Lava Girl. Well, no, they asked him, and he said, "I don't want him to think. I don't want this to put a blemish on his resume. He's like, because I don't know how good it's gonna be, and I don't want him. He's also
Rodriguez.
well, he was like mainly because Shark Boy doesn't talk. He's like only gave him like 2 lines.
That's right.
He's like, so one, why? I was like, yeah, you just don't want to pay him. But he's like, one, why am I gonna bring him on for like 2 lines? And if the movie tanks, he's gonna have that on his record that he did this crappy movie. He's like, now if the movie takes off, then he's like, I do have stuff planned for like Shark Boy, and he said like he'll come back for Shark Boy.
Okay.
Vin Diesel probably made more money just saying I am Groot than he would have made being
Groot.
there physically but not saying
Yeah.
a single word.
Yeah.
Every Marvel movie he's gonna get paid for now. I am Groot.
I am
Groot.
Every time they say it. Every time somebody, right? Does it count when they print it on
I
things?
guess.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what about the video games? Does he still get paid for that? Like,
I don't know how all that
Groot's
works.
making
but-
paper even though he's a tree.
well, not like what's his name? Bill Hader.
Oh yeah.
He got paid for the first Star Wars reboot because he was the voice of BB-8. Supposedly.
Beep, boop, beep.
Like he
The
had
little
a friend.
beeps.
Yeah,
The
he had a
beeps.
They
friend.
don't have this.
I can make
he had
this.
he had a friend that worked there, and he's like, is there a way I can like be in the movie? And they're like, yeah, you want to be BB-8? So for that one movie, he's the voice of BB-8.
Did he get paid for that? 'Cause
Yeah.
if he did, that's
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah.
We're all out here slaving. Just over here, just like
Beep, boop, beep.
beep,
He's like,
beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, up. And they're like, there's your check, sir. Ooh, $100,000. Let's go buy a car.
He's like, do I get the rights now?
I'm over here writing books like a nerd.
I was like, the poor guy who was R2D2 had to fit in the little damn suit to move the head, and this dude just sits to make a couple of noises and get paid.
Beep, boop, boop.
Sweating. Just- and the little hamster in the BB-8 one.
It's just a drone.
They're
It's not
just
even
rolling
demo.
it along. Did they pay that poor little hamster?
In
I don't think
seed.
so.
In seed.
Yeah.
Other question is, where do you find hamsters?
I don't know. I
Pet
think
store?
I know they're in Europe.
Mhm.
I know Europe for sure. I can tell you where you get hedgehogs though.
Where you get
Iraq has hedgehogs.
Dang.
Yeah, man. We used to have like a
I want a
thermal
Sonic.
imagery that you
Mhm.
could use at night.
Yeah.
And it was huge. It was like this big box thing, and it was this thermal imagery, and you look through it, and you can see miles. You can see far as hell with that thing.
Damn.
And I would watch animals. I would just watch it because it's like at night. We do
Yeah.
missions at night, and I'm
Yeah.
sitting up there on my little
boy.
gunner's hatch, and I'm just like looking around, just scanning. And then I would see like in the distance, you see like a tree, and then you see stuff in the tree, and you're like, "What is it?" And you're like, "It's an animal." And then you like see rats. I would see rats
Yeah.
climbing in reeds like
Mhm.
monkeys,
Yeah.
jumping from reed to
That's
reed.
crazy.
Dang.
Hedgehogs. You see little hedgehog going across the floor. It was a trip. Yeah. So
yeah, I
hedgehogs
saw
are
that
right.
meme because they were like, yeah, how come you never see like hamsters in the wild? So it's like, oh, they're right next to the guinea pigs.
I had a friend I worked with. His grandma was from Peru,
Mhm.
and they came to visit him, and she went to PetSmart and was buying guinea pigs because they eat them in Peru.
Yeah.
So she wanted to eat them, and she kept going that week. She kept going and
Mhm.
picking some up, and they're like, "What are you doing with all these guinea pigs?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm eating them."
Mhm.
They're like, "We can't let you keep buying our guinea pigs," and they stopped her. They stopped her from buying the damn guinea pigs, man.
Dang.
Oh, there you go. Some perfect Nickelodeon news. Have a fight break out.
Okay, kids.
Why are they
We're having a
watching hockey?
disagreement?
Why are they fighting?
Plankton tripped one of them. They didn't see. It's a whole plot.
I know. It's a whole show between. All right. Well, we could talk for days, and we probably will after this,
yeah.
but we got to end the show because Instagram doesn't let us go more than an hour. So, so thank you guys for tuning in. How can everybody get a hold of you social media wise?
I'm on Instagram, Long Goose, Facebook, Ben Longoria. I'm a Simpsons character on my profile.
Yes.
Who the hell is Long Goose?
Long Goose. That's my nickname from the army. I got it from the army, and it stuck with me.
Be my goose.
I fight like little mongoose. I'm a mean little dude.
Okay.
So that's what they and I'm fast. so they
Maverick
call me
and Mongoose next movie.
All right, well, I'm
Long
just gonna
Longoria.
call you not Long Goose. Now,
Yeah.
so there
It's
we go.
Padre Long Goose because I'm also an
Ah.
ordained minister.
Oh dang!
I was gonna
Father
say,
Long
that's
Goose.
really
There we
cool.
go.
I was gonna say, what was
Andre
the last one?
Longoose.
Something about a luchador,
Oh yeah, I just made that.
I know.
Padre
Assassin
Longoose, yeah.
luchador
A
or something.
mercenary luchador.
Yeah, mercenary
I just
luchador.
randomly fight people for money.
Oh dang! That's
But,
awesome.
Yeah, so check them out. Check out the books. They're available on Amazon, all the good places?
Amazon, and you can visit crosspub.com. It'll take you to the links to go find them, and like you can watch YouTube videos about them and stuff like that.
Definitely.
All the info's there.
Yes.
Look that up.
And we may or may not be live next week. I'm still deciding because it's my mom's birthday. So we may
Bring her in.
We may just record. Well,
Mom
'cause-
on the show.
Bring her in.
well, we're gonna take her to another drag race.
Watch out
Sunday.
for the fireworks.
Uh,
No,
So-
Mom.
So we're
No,
taking her
Mommy,
again. So
no.
I don't want to rush back over here and run that because she's gonna have a good time because it's her birthday. So
Right.
all the children are paying for her alcohol. So
Well, I promise you wouldn't have to rush
Everybody's
back.
gonna
You
go
take
broke.
your sweet time. Let me know, and we can get her in studio. I'll be flexible for her, not for you.
so but we will have a new episode. I just don't know if we're gonna pre-record or be live, but we'll figure that out probably in the next day or two.
Okay.
But with that being said, I'm G.
I'm Dom.
And this is 210 Culture,
Bringing the best of 210 Nation.